Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you can excuse me today. I'm wearing a hoodie, which I wouldn't normally do in a video. I do normally get a little bit more dressed up, but I am absolutely bitterly cold today. So I'm hoping that you don't mind that I'm a little bit more casually dressed. The temperature has really dropped here in England, and I know that most of my followers are English, but I know that I've got quite a few followers in America and further afield as well. So just to let you guys know, it is getting cold, and for us in England, cold is anything that gets down to around 0 degrees. So I know for some people that's going to be like warm, for others that's going to be absolutely bitterly cold. Our winters don't really tend to get that cold, but at the moment we are having a little bit of a cold snap, and I believe in the next week it's supposed to go down to like -4. So that's going to be fun. If you notice, I'm moving a little bit differently today as well. We've been laying the floor in the dining room and doing a lot of DIY over the weekend, and my back is not thanking me for it. So I've got a little bit of pain, and I've got kind of a little bit of like almost like it's not a frozen shoulder, but the shoulder's like really stiff. So I'm sorry if I look a little bit wooden on this video, that's kind of why. So I wanted to talk to you today about NaNoWriMo, and this is the last video that I'm going to be doing on the NaNoWriMo series for this year. Now, this last week of the challenge has been a bit of a challenge, and the reason for that is that we were coming back from Portugal on Saturday, and then on the Sunday I had a Christmas market to do in a village close to where I live. And then on the Monday, I had to go down to Leicestershire to meet a client. And then on the Tuesday, I was going to Northamptonshire to do some research at Dean Park for one of the ladies that I'm going to include in my upcoming book. So I knew that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday were basically going to be write-off days. There was no way I was going to be able to write on those 3 days because I had all of this other stuff going on. So that meant that basically by that point, Tuesday was the end of November. I think Wednesday was the 1st. So it was really strange because I'd kind of got about 3,000 words written up to that point on kind of the Wednesday, the Thursday and the Friday. I did write 1,000 words in the airport at Faro on Saturday morning. That was really good. We kind of found a table in a little cafe that we always sit at when we come home. I got my laptop out and I thought I'll just do like half an hour, 45 minutes worth of writing, see how much I do. Anyway, by the time we were ready to kind of go and find our gate, I'd written exactly 1,000 words, and I was so happy because that's obviously like more or less the daily goal. And I'd managed to kind of squeeze it into the day, so that was really good. But then obviously from then until Tuesday I didn't manage to do any writing at all. I have done a little bit in the rest of that week, so I don't think I did any on Wednesday because I was catching up on emails and things, but then Thursday and Friday I wrote 1,000 words on each day. So in terms of how this week has gone, I actually think that given how busy we've been and the fact that we've been travelling back from Portugal, I'm really happy with the fact that I wrote 3,000 words in that kind of NaNoWriMo week, so from the last update to last Tuesday gone. That's how the week's gone. I'm going to go on now to talk a little bit about how I feel the challenge has gone in total, because I feel like that last point about me writing past the end of the challenge is something that I really want to talk about in terms of like how I feel the challenge has gone and what my plans are for writing in the future. So in terms of how I feel the challenge has gone overall, I haven't actually had a chance to work out what my total word count is yet, because I haven't updated the spreadsheet. I'm sorry, I know I've been using this spreadsheet, and then just before this challenge I should have really updated it, and I just haven't had chance because I'm really busy at the moment. So I will update my spreadsheet and I'll put up here on camera, on the screen, sorry, the final word count of what I managed to write throughout the entire NaNoWriMo challenge. So I already know, even though I don't know what the final figure is, I already know that I didn't hit my target. So right at the beginning of the challenge, I set myself an insane target of writing 50,000 words of my novel writing project and 50,000 words of my non-fiction project. Now, I knew that 50,000 for my non-fiction was probably a little bit ambitious because I knew that I was kind of doing research and writing, then research and writing. So it wasn't like I was consistently writing for the whole month on that project. And to be honest, I think I've got, again, I can't remember the final number, but I think I've got a few thousand words written on that project. but that stalled, to be honest, because I was waiting. I'd finished one chapter and I've been waiting for people to get back to me with some permissions before I could start writing the next chapter in that book. However, I have made leaps and bounds with research and with the structure of that book this month. And I think the reason I've done that is because I've been so focused in my mind on writing. And I think that's a really, really positive thing that's come out of the NaNoWriMo project for this Widows project, is that it's really focused me. So I haven't maybe got the right number of words out of that challenge this month, but what I have managed to achieve is a completely finished book structure. So I'm really, really happy with how the month and that Widows project has gone. And I'm really excited to kind of spend December and January putting more of those kind of words down on paper. So yes, didn't anywhere near hit the word count with the Widows project, but I'm really, really happy with the kind of movement and the progression that I made with the project throughout the month. In terms of the Lighthouse book, which is my novel that I'm writing, I think what I've proved to myself is that I can just keep chipping away at it. So obviously I haven't hit 50,000 words written. I haven't even hit 30,000 words written in the month. But to be honest, I've seen a lot of articles floating around and a lot of things going around on social media this year talking about why NaNoWriMo is almost set up for failure, because yes, some people can write 50,000 words in a month, but at the end of that month, how much of those words are actually usable? Because actually, if you're having to go back over what you've written in that month and you're having to instantly delete 20-30% of it, then you haven't written for 50,000 words. You've physically sat down and typed out 50,000 words, but if you don't use all of those 50,000 words, what was the point in putting them down on paper in the first place? And I know a lot of people will say, oh, well, you know, I'm developing the character, I'm developing the script and this, that and the other. And yes, I do agree with that. I definitely think if you've achieved 50,000, that's not to be sniffed at all. I think that's a huge achievement. And I think if it helps you to get to a better place, then it's worth doing. I just feel like for this challenge, I think people get a little bit too hung up on numbers at the bottom of a screen rather than thinking about the work that we're producing. And I know I've definitely been guilty of that this month. I've been just like looking at the numbers and looking at the numbers. At one point, I wrote a sentence that was utter rubbish simply because I needed to get over the 1,600 word mark for the day. And then the next day I looked at that sentence and I was like, it was 10 words. Why was I so intent on writing 10 words in a sentence? That did not need to be there. So I think it's one of those things. I think it works, but also it kind of sets you up not to do great to start with. So I think definitely I put too much pressure on myself to write 50,000. I should have just decided in my mind I was going for the 30,000, 1,000 words a day, boom, that would have been great. But as usual, I overestimated and underachieved, which I really need to get a handle on. A lot of people undersell and over-deliver. And that's what I want to do. I want to undersell and over-deliver every single time. And I feel like, because I want to please people all the time, I feel like I have to say, oh, I can do these amazing things and I can do these really great things. And then inevitably I fall short. And then not only do I feel guilty for not doing it for myself, I feel like I've let people down. So I am sorry that yet again, for another year, I have not completed NaNoWriMo. However, I am going to finish this on a positive, because I think the fact that I actually continued writing throughout the entire month, the fact that I am still writing now, which I am doing on both of my projects, shows that actually what NaNoWriMo has done for me is it's re-sparked that creative inspiration. It's made me want to write every day. And actually, if there's a day now where I can't fit in a bit of writing, I feel a little bit out of sorts, and I look forward to being able to get back to writing the next day. So I think that actually, even though I haven't hit the word counts, this is probably my most successful NaNoWriMo to date. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it's gone. I know that this is a very niche subject for my subscribers. I know that a lot of you aren't really interested in NaNoWriMo. I say a lot of you. If you've got this far in this video, you probably are one of the people who are really interested in NaNoWriMo. So what I will say is I know that everybody else who's on my channel doesn't necessarily want to follow NaNoWriMo, but for those of you who do and who have followed along this challenge, who've DM'd me to tell me all about your own projects and how you're going, thank you so much for following along and for keeping me inspired. And a huge thank you to my friend Kayla, who is also writing at the moment. You met her on the persuasion reaction video that we did together. She's been kind of she has been writing alongside me all of this month, and we've been keeping each other going with little Pomodoro writing sessions on Zoom together and WhatsApping. So I just wanted to say a huge thanks to Kayla for kind of keeping me motivated throughout this month. So yes, that is it. NaNoWriMo for another year. Who knows if I'll do it next year? I honestly don't know. Who knows where we'll be this time next year? Feels like things change in the world so fast at the moment that I can't even imagine what the world will look like in November next year. But anyway, let me know how your NaNoWriMo's got on. Let me know what your final word count is. And yeah, I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.